Safari is the default web browser that ships with Mountain Lion, and it's packed with a ton of great new features that will make your web browsing experience a pleasant one. Let's take a tour of Safari to get a better idea of the options available. In the Finder, the Safari icon is generally located in the dock, at least it is by default, but if it's not there, you can always go to your Applications folder to launch it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this little compass icon to launch Safari on my computer. Now, by default, Safari is going to open up to a default web page. Now, one of the new features that they've added in Mountain Lion is that of the URL bar up here at the top. Whereas in previous versions, the URL bar was on the left-hand side and the Google bar was on the right, in Mountain Lion, they've combined the two fields into one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick Google search. I'm going to do a search for Wikipedia and Mountain Lion and OS X. And I'm going to see what Wikipedia has on the topic of OS X Mountain Lion. If I click on this link, it's going to allow me to browse to that link and give me detailed information about Mountain Lion, and probably about the history of OS X. So that looks pretty interesting to me, and I think I might like to read that. Well, another great feature of Safari is that if you look way over here to the right side of the Google URL bar, you'll see that the Reader button is highlighted. What that does for you and me is if I click on it, it hides all of the distracting content that's on the page, allowing me to focus on the article itself. This is really useful when you want to read an article, such as a news article or an informational article. You can read through this without any of those distracting elements. To get out of the Reader, you simply click on the Reader button again, and it goes back to the original web page. This is one of the great features that I love about Safari. Now, let's say you don't want to read it right now. Let's say maybe you find the article interesting, but you might want to read it a little bit later. Well, that's where the reading list comes into play. Way over here on the left-hand side of the toolbar, you have the Show Reading List button. And what I can do is I can click on that button, and I can drag this URL down to my reading list. That adds it as an item in my reading list. Now I can go back to browsing the web, searching for other content, but if I want to come back to it later on, I can just click on the Reading List button and then click on this link to show that site. This is one of the great features that are found in Safari. This is great for people doing research as well. So let's say, for example, I'm at Google Maps and I've decided that I've changed my mind. I want to now read that article. I can just click on the reading list, click on the OS X Mountain Lion article, and then close the reading list, and now I'm free to read that article without a problem. Again, a great tool for research purposes. Now, the other thing that's really useful is the bookmarks feature. So let's see how that works. I'm going to go ahead and go to a website here. I'm going to go to the Video to Brain website. And this looks like a pretty good website that I might want to come back to on a regular basis. So what better thing to do than to add it as a bookmark in Safari? Now, I can do that a couple of different ways. One way I can do this is to come up to the Bookmarks menu, and I can choose Add Bookmark. It can add this to the Bookmarks bar, which is this bar right up here, or I can add it to the Bookmarks menu. So I'll go ahead and add it to the Bookmarks menu for now, and I'll just give this a more simplistic name. I'll just call this Video to Brain, and I'm going to go ahead and click the Add button. And now in the Bookmarks bar, I now have a bookmark for Video to Brain. Now, as you've seen, I can also add this to the Bookmarks bar. So what I can do there is, if I want to add it, I can just drag the favicon icon and just drop it in the Bookmarks bar, and I can rename it here as well. Now, whenever I want to access this, I can just click on the button. In addition, you can see these bookmarks by clicking on the Bookmark button. And that will show you your history, your bookmarks bar. We can see the icon added here. The bookmarks menu, see that here. So you can access these bookmarks in a number of different ways. I'm going to close that bookmark. Let's go to one more site here. I'm going to go to a different website. Go to my web page. And this is a fairly basic web page, but it has some good content on it. So I'm going to add this to my bookmark bar as well. So I'm going to click on the Bookmarks menu, and I'm going to choose Add Bookmark. And this time I'm going to add it to the bookmark bar, and then I'll go ahead and give this a name. Click the Add button, and now that item got added as well. You can always rearrange these up here if you wish by just dragging them. So what I can also do is I can click on this Bookmarks button, and I can make sure I'm clicked on the Bookmarks bar, and we can see that the two websites that I added are listed right here. They're also listed up here as well. They basically mimic each other. Now what I can also do is come up here to the Bookmarks menu, and I can choose Add Bookmark Folder. And I am going to give this a name of Training. Now I'm going to go back to the Bookmarks bar, and I'm going to drag that folder down here into the Bookmarks bar. And I'm going to select these two websites and drop them into the Training folder. The nice thing about utilizing folders in the bookmark bar, I'll go ahead and close this panel here, is that I now have a category, and if I click on the drop-down menu, I can access multiple sites when you create a folder and add it to the Bookmarks bar. It's a really useful feature that can really help you to browse and navigate sites very efficiently. As you can see, Safari is simple to use yet powerful. It allows you to access sites, save sites, and read content easily without distractions.